Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We're going to be live on the radio in just a couple of minutes. And of course, I'm going to start by talking about everything going on with Pete Hegseth yesterday. That was just the most incredible moment I think anyone has ever seen with any type of congressional hearing where there's been questioning, not just confirmations, but any type of hearing where there's questioning. We've never seen anything like that we saw yesterday, ever. And you know what? We probably won't again. You know, Pete Hegseth is as good as it gets. I mean, how could somebody be better than Pete Hegseth? Okay, we're going to be on the air live. In 3 minutes, we'll be on the radio. And of course, I'm going to start by covering Pete Hegseth. We're going to talk about that. Take your calls. And there's a lot of other things to talk about, too. If you're new, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. And if you'd like to call in, the toll-free number is pinned in the live chat. And it's free to call in no matter where you are located. So here we go. Okay, Mike just gave me the time. Less than 3 minutes, we'll be live on the radio. Oh, man. 5 days till the return of Trump. Now, Marco Rubio, I don't know how the Democrats will be because usually they're nicer when someone's a senator. Like if there's a senator that's going in front of the Senate, because he's still a senator. He's not resigned. He's not going to resign his Senate seat till he's confirmed. Doesn't want to give up that seat. He shouldn't, right? You never know what could happen. So usually when someone's a senator and they go through a confirmation hearing, they're usually a little more polite. But when you have someone like Marco Rubio, who is MAGA with Trump, they may throw that out the window. We'll find out. But would you want to be Marco Rubio following the Pete Hegseth performance? I wouldn't. All right, here we go. Stand by. We are 20 seconds away from airtime. MAGA with Trump. They may throw that out the window. We'll find out. But would you want to be Marco Rubio following? That's me listening over here. One minute, guys. I was off. 1 minute. 1 minute, and we'll be live on the radio. Now, it's just nice to see that men are back. You know, I was telling you guys yesterday, these overweight, lady, woke, incompetent firefighters in Los Angeles, that's the type of person that's been running the U.S. government. Right? I mean, it's crazy. 30 seconds, less than that, 25 seconds. Men are back. That's right. That toxic masculinity's been erased. All right. Stand by. Here we go. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio this year. Oh, man, we have so much to cover. Did Pete Hegseth not make all of you proud yesterday? I got to tell you, I have watched, if I tried to make a list, I would not be able to list how many congressional hearings I've watched, confirmation hearings. I've watched confirmation hearings and congressional hearings in both houses since I was a kid. I've watched these things, and I know a lot of you have too. And I have never seen not just a confirmation hearing, but any type of congressional hearing where there is anyone of either party, especially a Republican, being questioned, where we saw home runs that were hit yesterday, not just from Pete Hegseth, but from the Republican senators. And we're going to talk about this today because it was a historic moment, wasn't it? Oh, man. I was, Pete, we all know Pete Hegseth because, I used to watch him on the weekends on Fox on the weekends, and I've seen him do some interviews, but I've never seen him in action like that. And you know what? Most regular people haven't. I guess if you know him personally, maybe you've seen him like that from time to time. But for most of us, we haven't seen him like that. That was just masterful. Now, but the Republican senators, I want to start with them because that was brilliant what the Republican senators did yesterday. No getting around it. Those Republicans yesterday acted like you're supposed to act when your party has won the national election and you are the majority. That's how you're supposed to act. That's how you're supposed to behave. That's how you're supposed to run a Senate committee when you are in the majority. And that has never happened before. We've had so many times when Republicans are the majority, and typically what happens when Republicans are in the majority, this has happened every time other than this that I can remember. They always want to act like they're fair and not bipartisan, not partisan, that they're bipartisan, and they reach out to the Democrats. And there was one time we won, and I think this is when G.W. Bush was in office. It might have been Obama. I can't remember who was president then. It doesn't matter. Either Obama or G.W. The Republicans win, and then they win the majority in the Congress. And then all of a sudden they decide, well, we want to be fair. We don't want to be partisan. And they split the committee chairmanships up with the Democrats. Who lost. These, before this hearing yesterday, we've never had a hearing like this. And the Republican senators, I don't care what their backstory is, they did the right thing yesterday, the Republican senators, okay? They really, truly did. The Democrats wanted to have multiple rounds of questioning with Pete Hegseth. And I got to tell you, I watched that whole thing yesterday. Did you guys watch it? I couldn't stop watching. It went on for like 4 hours? And I was wondering, are they going to take a break? I heard the Democrats were making motions throughout that they wanted to have another round of questioning, and the Republicans said no. But I was expecting like a 8 to 10 hour day of questioning, weren't you? And they're going on with no break, and I'm seeing that Pete Hegseth has been drinking water nonstop, and I'm like, he must be like suffering up there, drinking all that water. He's probably got to go to the men's room like nobody's business. And then what I thought was a break. I thought it was a break, and it was over. They ended the hearing, and which was such a smart move by the Republicans. The Republicans on that Senate committee yesterday, they did, what the Democrats wanted to do was have as many rounds as they possibly could so they could go back around all that crap that they were bringing up during the questioning yesterday and batter him down. And the Republicans didn't allow it. Not only did the Republicans not allow the Democrat, they acted like they won. We won. We're the majority. You Democrats have been rejected. So sit down and dribble. But not only did they take charge, there were a few times where they actually reprimanded the Democrats for their behavior. Like Tim Kaine, Tim Kaine yesterday, who to me looked like a drunk. Did you see his hair? And Tim Kaine was really sounding like a pervert. He kept going, remember Tim Kaine was Hillary Clinton's running mate. Okay, so remember that? And he was the idiot. That was during the beginning of the Black Lives Matter real estate scam. And he was speaking at the National Urban League during the campaign. Remember, he was running for vice president with Hillary Clinton. And he got up in front of the National Urban League. I'm pretty sure it was the Urban League. If it wasn't the Urban League, it was another black organization. And he said, I remember this, Tim Kaine, he says, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. And they started booing him. And later in the day, Tim Kaine had to come back and apologize for saying that all lives matter. Because we all know only black lives matter, don't you know? I couldn't believe it. And I saw him yesterday up there, not just with his messed up hair. He looked like Eraserhead in that one movie, remember Eraserhead? But his skin looked inflamed. It was red, like inflamed. And I don't know anything about him other than he was Hillary Clinton's running mate. He apologized for saying all lives matter. And he's a pervert because he kept going over with Pete Hegseth this sexual encounter that he had with this woman that made these false allegations against him. And he kept going over and over it again. And I got to tell you, Tim Kaine looked like he was getting turned on talking about it, like he was in his mind fantasizing that it was him, not Pete Hegseth in that hotel room in Monterey. It looked like a pervert. But with the way his hair looked and the red inflammation in his skin, I'm not saying this is true of Tim Kaine, but the way that he looked, that's what an alcoholic looks like. People that are alcoholics, as I've known alcoholics in my life and even have had some in my family. Any of you have any alks in your family? And white people that are hardcore drunks, their skin is inflamed and it's red like that. I don't know, but he looked like a drunk to me. I'm not saying that he is a drunk, Tim Kaine, but he looked like one. But without question, he's a pervert. And the way he was talking about Pete Hegseth's daughter was disgusting. But these Republicans, they behaved like you're supposed to behave. I have never, ever, ever, ever seen Republicans take control of any hearing in either house for anything like those Republicans did yesterday. So those Republicans in that committee, they, without question, deserve some congratulations and an attaboy and a pat on the back and all that and bag of chips, okay? Because I was really proud of those Republicans yesterday. I don't care what their backstory is. I don't care what they've said or done in the past. Yesterday, they made us proud. Now, I'm going to take our first break of this Wednesday morning. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'll get into the great Pete Hegseth, our defense secretary. He will be confirmed. Make no mistake about it when we get back. If you'd like to call in, please do. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this. All right, we're clear. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. Oh, he looked like a slob, Kane. Did he not look like a slob? But you guys know what I mean about Republicans. They never, ever, ever behave like that. Hold on, I'm going to turn on. It's a little hot in here. Hold on. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. That was beautiful yesterday. Okay. Okay, we have 2 minutes, and then we'll be back. 2 minutes, and we are back. Indeed. It doesn't get better than this. This is as good as it gets, guys. Yeah. I mean, America's back. Men are back. You know. A backbone with Republicans. That's something you don't get very often. No doubt about it. 1 minute, we'll be back. I'm even behind on my coffee, but I'm so energized by the Republicans acting like winners, which we never experience ever. The adults are back. Absolutely. All right, 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. And, of course, we're enjoying winning, right? I tell you guys, I'll never disagree with President Trump. I'll never criticize President Trump. However, there's one exception to that. I disagree with President Trump on one thing and one thing only. I never get tired of winning, right? Never get tired of winning. And, this winning that's going on right now, this is something that you want to savor. It's something you want to enjoy. There's never going to be another Trump, okay? There's never going to be another Trump. So this winning that we're experiencing right now, you need to enjoy it. We're going to have other great MAGA presidents and senators and all this stuff, but there'll never be another Trump. Now, we're just 5 days away from the inauguration of our favorite president, Donald Trump, and all of you are invited to join Steve Kane and me at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs, for our Bye Bye Biden, Hello President Trump inaugural celebration. The inauguration is Monday, of course, the 20th at noon, and Steve and I will be there feasting on wings and fries and some cold draft beer, and you are all invited. Wings Plus, the Sample Road location, of course, is located on Sample Road, about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample. I look forward to seeing you there. There's plenty of parking. If there's no parking, the parking lot's huge. If there's no parking right in front of the restaurant, if you have a hard time, there's parking across the street. So don't let that run you off. We're going to have a great time. And Steve and I do not do a lot of appearances, okay? We really do not. So I don't know when we'll ever do one again. We have nothing on the horizon. And Steve and I I haven't seen Steve in person, I don't think, since the cruise, okay? Because we broadcast from different studios and we connect together. So we don't even do appearances in private together with each other. So come and join us. Sample Road location of Wings Plus on Monday. Okay, so Pete Hegseth, the Republican senators, they did an incredible job. Pete Hegseth filleted those Democrat senators. And, the thing about it, typically when there's a congressional hearing for anything, even a confirmation hearing, I mute when the Democrats are speaking because I can't stand yesterday was beautiful, but I typically can't stand it. You know what they do in both houses. And I just, when the Democrats come on, I typically mute it. And then I watch the highlights later because I just can't stand watching them. Yesterday, I didn't mute once. I listened to everything. And they were completely filleted by Pete Hegseth. I'm going to play some of the clips in a little bit. But you know what? I'm really curious to know how this went down, because obviously the Trump administration and the Republican senators planned this entire thing the way it went. They kept it short and sweet, which is how these hearings should be. We don't need 12 hours or 2 days of this, or 3 days or a week, and then all of a sudden they bring in some witness, that knew Pete 23 years ago who says something that can't be confirmed. You know how these things go. This is how they need to go every time. And I think they're setting a new standard for how these things there's only one negative with Pete Hegseth's hearing yesterday. One negative, and that is that he was the first confirmation hearing for Trump's second cabinet, right? Pete Hegseth, no one is going to come close to knocking it out of the park like Pete Hegseth did yesterday. No one. Today's Marco Rubio. Would you want to follow that act? He raised the bar so high. Poor Marco Rubio will be fine, but and Pam Bondi and all the rest. But Pete, they started at the bar so high, that's a tough thing to follow up. But Pete Hegseth, what he did that was brilliant is no matter what slanders the Democrats brought up, he just gave his pat answer. And the purpose of that is he didn't give them anything. He didn't give them anywhere to go. And that has never happened before. I've never seen someone in a hearing be so calm, cool, and collected. Ever. From either party. And not just confirmation. Sometimes cabinet members come for hearings and they get heated. I've never seen anything like that. And I think the reason that is because he's not just a combat veteran and an officer. He is the textbook. He's, you know what he is really? Pete Hegseth is a living, breathing John Wayne. And in this era where the liberals started this toxic masculinity and metrosexualism, and there are no genders and all this garbage that they got going on, we haven't seen a real man in a situation like Pete Hegseth was in front of a congressional hearing yesterday, maybe ever, but certainly not in many, many years, not like that. But I got to tell you, he must be one of the most competent officers that the U.S. Army has ever had in charge of troops in combat, because he is so calm, cool, and collected. The only other type of personality, the only other profession where I've seen where there are people that are that cool and collected under pressure are high-level surgeons, like really top surgeons, like Ben Carson types. They're calm, cool, and collected. But, Pete Hegseth, some of it was his TV experience, no doubt about it. He's a seasoned television pro, and he understands television. He knows how to sit on a couch and not fidget and stuff like that. But he didn't lose his cool under a lot of pressure. And they were saying, those Democrats were saying some of the most disgusting things that you can say about a man and his child in front of his wife, who was sitting behind him. Who talks to a man like that about such things in front of their wife? Well, that's easy. Democrats. And he didn't break a sweat, Pete Hegseth, yesterday, which is unheard of. That's exactly what you want with someone that's going to be in charge of all of our military. All of it, every branch. As the Secretary of Defense. I've never seen something like that. The level of confidence. Now, Marco Rubio, like I said, Pete Hegseth raised the bar so high that it's hard to follow that act up. I get that. Now, historically, when there's a confirmation hearing for someone and they're a senator, the senators in the committees usually go a little easier on them. And Marco Rubio is still a member of the United States Senate. He's not going to resign his Senate seat until he gets the confirmation. Then he'll resign the Senate seat, and then Ron DeSantis will be queen for a day and get to appoint someone, and there'll be some debate, and he'll get all the publicity. Who's DeSantis going to appoint? But who knows? You know, these Democrats, because Marco Rubio is MAGA now and he's with Trump, they may not be as polite as they normally are to senators. We'll find out. But he's also very good under pressure and in debate. I've seen him, Marco Rubio, go up against people, and he's done a very good job. So I have no worry. Even if they get nasty with him, I have no worries about Marco Rubio. Now, I want to tell you guys, Valentine's Day is coming up. No better gift than going over to MyPillow.com. You know, the MyPillow bathrobes are just $59.98. My wife and I have these bathrobes. They have a whole bunch of new colors in, and there's two different styles of MyPillow bathrobes. And, of course, they're $59.98 with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. But there's two styles. There's a heavier bathrobe and a light one. And my wife and I, we have the heavy bathrobes because that's all they had when they first came out. And I was telling my wife, I said, you know what? Maybe we should order the light ones, you know, and we are. We're going to order one for each of us. But I paid well over $100 for each of our robes. Now just $59.98 with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. And remember, you can use our promo code KANE for all of the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones that I talk about. And also, don't forget the Mike Lindell Cross. They're $40 off. There's one for men, one for women. It's $40 off of each of them and free shipping with our promo code KANE at checkout. He calls it the Mike Cross, but it's the same cross that Mike Lindell himself wears. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you'd like to call in, please do. It's a toll-free call, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. All right, stand by, guys. Okay. Got to cue some stuff up here. Oh, yes, I'm going to play this one first. Oh, yes. I'm going to play the Jag off clip first. These Democrats, these were just epic fails. Epic fails. The Democrats didn't do anything yesterday but fail. Nothing but epic failures. Make sure you subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay. Oh, man, oh, man. So when we get back, I also going to talk about Michelle Obama not going to the inauguration. Good. Good. Do we want her there? I don't think so. Oh, I have so many MAGA hats. You know, I usually wear them until they're like worn out. I've got a lot I don't wear. You know, I wear them until, you know, the sun gets to them and everything else. But this is this MAGA hat is, of course, I have the one autographed by Trump. That's a $40,000 hat that I have in the safe deposit box at the bank. Okay, now that one I never wear. Oh, man. I've been tempted a few times, but now, by the way, guys, I want to tell you guys about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. And if you need roof repair or replacement for any type of structure, residential, commercial, municipal, he can handle it for you. He works with every type of roofing material there is, by the way. And he even has done roofs on churches. He can handle the job of any size. If you have a condo community, apartment community that has over 200 buildings, Tom Laporta can handle it. Now, I'm going to give you a cell phone number. The cell phone number is not the number that's on his website, so you want to write this down, okay? His cell phone number is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Call or text him, and that is his cell phone number. And Tom Laporta and I, we text all the time, and that's the number. That's it. That's the cell phone in his pocket. 954-604-4602. His website's laportaroofing.com. Okay, but if you call that number or text, you'll get Tom Laporta directly. All right. Okay, stand by. If you're on hold, hang in there. Okay. All right. Let's see here. We'll be back in less than a minute. Less than a minute. Will Obama be there? I don't know. You know. 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. My name's Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We're talking, of course, about this epic confirmation hearing, the best ever, with the one and only Pete Hegseth. Oh, man, was that not beautiful? Did he not make Trump proud? You know Trump was watching that. But I bet you he did some high-fiving when that was going on. Oh, man, I'd love to have been there. All right, if you'd like to call in, our number's toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
You know, I am not tired of winning.
Oh, no.
You know?
No.
Oh, no. This Pete Hegseth was a win. And to tell you the truth, I think Rubio is going to be confirmed like a hot knife through butter.
They're all going to be confirmed. They're all going to, the way that it works. That if you heard it, what the Constitution says, the Senate is to advise and consent. That means they bring somebody there. I don't even know if they're required to have these hearings, but they have them. And then they advise the president whether they like him or not, and then they consent. I mean, that's it. No matter what. I mean, there's no advise and then not approve. It's not supposed to be that way, because the presidents are supposed to be able to have whoever they want in their cabinet. And you know what? Everyone's going to get confirmed, all of them, because we're in a new America right now. Right? We got our country back. Men are back. All right, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. I'm Josh from Central Illinois.
All right, Josh in Central Illinois. What is on your mind, man?
I watched 2.5 hours of that Hegseth confirmation.
It's awesome.
Trial.
Yeah.
Dude, it is astonishing how people No, I'm just kind of embarrassed that our leadership, like, people voted these people in and they're placed in positions of high power, and they're like, "Oh, you cheated on your wife, didn't you?"
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, you're just watching that. You're like, yeah, it's important to understand that leadership roles have more to do than anybody's personal lives, you know? It was just so astonishing to watch that, and I was like,
well, I don't know. My understanding it? Now, I'm not approving of anything here, but was Pete Hegseth married at the time of that encounter, or I think they were just dating? I don't think they were married. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think they were married when that consensual encounter occurred.
Yes, sir. I'm not concerned in any way because anybody's proclivities in that market has nothing to do with their ability to lead. And that is astonishing to me that so many people hopped up there, and they hopped on a high horse, astonishingly, in that thing after all of the atrocities that have happened under their leadership over the past, Biden's presidency. We have the Afghan withdrawal, and
I'll tell you this. They were talking about drinking. There won't be any cocaine found in Pete's office like at the White House under Biden when they found that bag of cocaine next to the Situation Room.
Yes, sir. What do you think? I mean, because a lot of bad things happened under Democrat leadership, but when bad things happen, they just kind of pawn it off like, oh, it's just a bag of cocaine. It's nothing big. You know?
No biggie.
You don't have to think about it a second time. It's just us leaving $80 billion in modern military equipment to a bunch of people that are goat herders historically.
That knocked, by the way, we gave the military equipment to the people that knocked down the World Trade Center towers and attacked America on 9/11, right? The Taliban.
Yes, sir. That's only if you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is simply this: the people that are condemning Mr. and his confirmation are the same people that said that there were WMDs in Iraq.
Yes.
The same people that said that the Afghan pullout was actually successful. And this guy actually put his boots in the dust over there, and he led men. You know,
when I was watching the Pete Hegseth hearing yesterday, there was a commercial break, and they show, I don't know if it was before, but the hearings, but there was a commercial break on Fox with these two veterans that are disabled. One of them was a paratrooper or something, and his parachute didn't open, and he's paralyzed. You know, both of these guys were sent off to a war by Dick Cheney and George Bush, knowingly lying about WMDs in Iraq. And you look at these great men, and they're both confined to wheelchairs for the rest of their lives because of their war crimes. And they're talking about Pete Hegseth had sex once? How dare you have sex? You know, I mean, are they out of their minds?
I think this is the hubris that's about to be broken down, and I hope that Mr. Hegseth, hopefully,
he's going to be confirmed.
And Vivek can, he better be confirmed. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Who the heck else is going to run that stuff? And Kash Patel better run the FBI. There are no other options. We literally have gone through the worst possible scenarios of what America can be defiled to, letting everybody in, throwing all of our assets to a foreign war for an ally that was only a quasi-ally. And now we're over here. We have North Carolina folks still down there freezing. We have California on fire.
Yeah. But Ukraine's taken care of. Ukraine is taken care of. Well, listen, we lost the connection, but thanks for the call. All right, you're breaking up, but I appreciate it from Central Illinois, making a lot of sense. All right, 1-888-465-2631. Back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Detroit Dave.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Yeah, we know this Hegseth's going to get appointed. He already let the cat out of the bag when he said, yeah, I already got people on the job working underneath me, so it's in the bag.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't think he's qualified for it. I think he's a good soldier. Somebody on
He's
the
not
front line
qualified?
defend that wall.
Okay, this is... no, I'm glad you called because I don't know. I'm going to learn something here. I'm so... What's your name, by the way? Dr. Detroit? Dave.
Detroit Dave.
Detroit Dave, okay. Your last name's Dave, Mr. Dave. You say Pete Hegseth's not qualified. That's interesting. What is the qualification, in your mind, to be the Secretary of Defense?
Well, considering he ran 2 charities into the ground, he's not capable of running.
No, I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you about the charities. You say he's not qualified. What I asked, I didn't. I asked you what are the qualifications in your mind to be the Secretary of Defense?
Somebody that can run a budget properly, because there is budget involved, is there not?
Yeah.
In that top position.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he can't do that.
I don't know about that. Who says he can't do that?
He ran 2 charities into the ground.
That's not true. I know Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid say that over and over again, but that's not true. In fact, his charities were very productive and helped veterans. That's not true.
You're so delusional. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Were they not?
So other than budgeting. So other than budgeting, no. We're not talking about Pete here. We're talking about you said he's not qualified. So I'm trying to find out in your liberal mind what qualifies someone. Okay, so to be defense secretary, you have to be able to budget. What else? What are the other qualifications?
I was trying to have a decent conversation. You call me liberal P-brain. What? I said he's a good soldier. He's not qualified for this.
Are you not? Is it why? Is it an insult to call you a liberal? Is that some kind of insult?
P-brain, I think.
Right? Oh, P-brain. Well, I know. I stopped myself. I said mind. I said P, and then I stopped and said mind. Okay. So what's the next qualification? You have to be able to budget. What's the next qualification in your mind?
He was asked who's in some accords and who's in some treaties and.
What? I didn't hear that last part. Say that again.
He was asked who was in some treaties and who's in some groups like what was the Asian Pacific, whatever that place is called, and he had no clue.
Well, you don't even have a clue of what you're talking. No, I'm not. We're not talking. No. We're not talking about Pete Hegseth. We're talking about in general to be the defense secretary. You have a criteria of qualifications. The first one you said is being able to budget. What's the next qualification? In your mind?
Again, he had no...
No, we're not talking about Pete. We're talking about, we're looking to hire somebody. You're looking to hire someone who's qualified. What are the qualifications?
Well, I know the only qualification is you have to be a civilian.
Okay.
And that's all that it is.
Oh, okay, so he's qualified then. So you want to retract that? You just don't like him.
He's going to fall flat on his face, and it's going to be fun.
What is it about Republicans, MAGA, that you don't like?
Low intelligence that they are.
Who's Donald Trump is of low intelligence? Kash Patel, Stephen Miller. These are people of low intelligence.
Yeah, they just follow the sheeple.
Donald Trump follows the sheeple? You think Donald Trump is of low intelligence?
The MAGA people follow the fascist leader, so...
Fascist? Who's a fascist?
Yeah, Trump.
What has he done that's fascist?
Do we not have 3 branches of government, correct?
Yeah, and we still do. I'm asking you, what has Trump done that's fascist?
Have lost its mind. They can't stand up to him because they know.
No. You said Trump is a fascist. What has Trump done?
Yep.
An action that he's taken that's fascist?
You know what? I'm done.
Yeah, he's done. He said, he's done. Yeah, isn't that surprising? Are you surprised? Oh my goodness. That's what happens when you regurgitate and repeat what you hear on MSNBC. He ran for the hills. Ran for the hills. All right, we're going to take our last break of the first hour. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is toll-free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Back to your calls after this. Be right back, guys. Oh my goodness. I almost felt bad for that guy. Almost. Oh. We'll be back in about 90 seconds. Oh, man. That's what Trump derangement syndrome does. Absolutely. Yes. That's what Trump derangement syndrome does to you. That's what watching MSNBC does to you. One minute. And we will be back. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? And if you're already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video, if you don't mind. Things are going good so far. If you're on hold, hang in there. This is as good as it gets, friends. I thought Marco Rubio was today. It doesn't matter. They're all going to be good. All right, 25 seconds. 10. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, and I almost feel bad for that last guy with the MSNBC talking points. It's the Steve Kane Show, and don't forget, we are 5 days away from the inauguration. Actually, 5 days, 5 hours, and 12 minutes from now, Donald Trump will be the president again. Oh, man. Can't get here soon enough. And you are all invited to join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs. There's 2 Wings Pluses in Coral Springs. We will be at the Sample Road location. And Brian Walsh, he's the owner. He will have all of the television sets on the inauguration of President Trump at Wings Plus, which is at noon. And when Steve and I get off the air Monday, we're both going to head over there, get there early, and start feasting on wings. I love Wings Plus. I was eating there for years before they were with us here on the program, and I told Steve, I said, you got to go over and have lunch at Wings Plus. And I'd been telling him that for ages, and ages and ages. Our studio, our old studio in Coral Springs used to be right down the street from Wings Plus off of Sample Road, and we'd get off the air at 9, and one day he had to hang out a little later at the studio, and they were open. He went over there, he had lunch, and the next day he came in with a menu, and we were doing spots on the air for Wings Plus, and that was, I don't know, 16, 17 years they've been with us here on the Steve Kane Show. So it's the Sample Road location, which is about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. in Coral Springs. The inauguration is at noon, and I look forward, as does Steve, of meeting all of you there. All right, back to the phones we go. If you're on hold, hang in there. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing? This is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria. I'm great. How are you? 5 days till Trump's back. How could I not be doing wonderful?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I was calling to say, I know it's been a while since I called, but I was calling to say about the hearing yesterday. And, oh, my God, these women on the Democrat side, oh, my God, they all is hilarious.
You know, the women, and I was talking to my wife about this on my podcast last night about this. They were hysterical postmenopausal women who were totally out of control, and they really were. And all of the Democrat women made a very good case as to why women should not be in combat. Women are. I love women, but women are too emotional.
They are, and I'm a woman. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
They should, to me, honestly, they shouldn't even be in the military. Not in the combat as fighting. You know, you could probably be like maybe something like a secretary or answering phones or something like that, but not fighting. No, that's a man's job. Sorry.
Well, listen, what we've seen, you know, I'm surprised that with all this talk about women in combat yesterday, I didn't hear anyone talk about the transgender sports, right? We have these men that have transgendered the women now, and they're beating the women in everything, right? Swimming, boxing, all this stuff, volleyball. Obviously, physically, women can't beat men swimming or at volleyball, right? You're going to put them out on the field of battle in close combat with enemy soldiers? Plus, all of our women who have ever been captured have been raped without mercy by the enemy. So, no, women don't belong there. They don't belong there. There's other things for them to do.
Yes, that's true. And that's definitely true. That's why I said when the hearing started, I literally, you know, if I was in front of them, I probably would throw the book throw a shoe at them if I was in there.
Well, you know,
you guys are just...
There's all kinds of things that, you know, I'm not qualified to serve in combat in the Army. Do you know that? Right. And why am I not qualified? They wouldn't take me. Do you know why?
Right.
I'm too old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Age, yeah.
I'm too old. So, you know, and I'm not an old man. At least I don't view myself as one. But there's all kinds of restrictions. But you need people in support. You know, I was at a celebrity science fiction convention once. This was many years ago, 20 years ago. And I met a guy who was a celebrity. He played the mayor of Munchkinland in The Wizard of Oz. Right? So he was a dwarf. If you go watch the Wizard of Oz, the mayor of Munchkinland, and I talked to this guy for like 2 hours. It was amazing. And he was telling me about his life. And in the Second World War, he was in the Army Air Force. And he trained pilots on how to fly bombers here in the United States.
Right.
And here in the United States. And they made the controls so he could reach them and everything, right? You know, there are a lot of people not qualified for combat that you can use in support roles at home.
Yeah.
Like the mayor of Munchkinland, you know?
Yeah. That is true, you know. It just, to me, I just felt like, and that guy, I can't stand him. I never did. Tim Kane, oh my God, he made my head roll in the back of my neck, and I can't do that.
Didn't he seem like a pervert, Tim Kane? He seemed like a pervert.
Yeah, that was disgusting what he did. That was one thing that I never thought any congressperson would even say out of their mouth. Why his wife is there? Why would you make that comment?
Because he's a Democrat. And when I say that he sounded like a pervert, I could tell he was fantasizing in his mind that it was him with that woman in the hotel room, not Pete.
Exactly. You know, it was a bad precedent. it was a bad display, and it was bad option.
And you know, and
like
Pete
that.
Hegseth, the police determined Pete Hegseth may have been a victim of date rape that night by this woman. She got him drunk. The video showed that he couldn't even hardly stand up. The woman took advantage of him.
Yeah.
He very well may have been date raped that night, Pete Hegseth.
Right.
Then
I heard that she followed him to his hotel room.
She walked him back to the hotel room. She walked him back to the hotel room and basically was holding him up. He was so intoxicated, and she was not.
Oh, wow. Jesus. That's horrible. But, one more thing I wanted to ask. You say y'all was having something at Wings Place on Sample?
Yeah, Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out where I was going to go for inauguration because I already got my shirt. I'm prepared. I'm ready to celebrate.
I'd love to meet you. I don't think we've met before. So, yeah, you should come. It's about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. You cannot miss Wings Plus.
Okay.
All
I
right.
definitely will try to make it.
Absolutely. Well, good. I look forward. All right, Maria. Take care. All right. Yeah, you're all invited. Steve and I have not done an appearance together in, I can't remember the last time. Does anyone remember the last time we did an appearance outside of the cruise? I can't remember. I really can't. We do not do them very often, and this is the perfect one, isn't it? It's going to be exciting. All right, back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right.
Richard from Pompano.
Hey, Richard. What's on your mind?
Okay. I've been waiting to hear just one Democrat speak favorably about Pete Hegseth. And
Good
the
luck.
closest it's come is Fetterman. And has he said anything yet?
I haven't seen Fetterman say anything since, but before he was saying positive things. He went and met Trump at Mar-a-Lago with his wife over the weekend.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he flew down here with his wife. He's back. I thought him and his wife split, but they're back together now.
I don't know. He's an amazing man. He was 360 degrees. He turned from
360 degrees would mean
360.
360 degrees would mean he's still a liberal socialist. He's back where he began. You mean a 180? I would 180. Not 180. I would. That's okay. It's early, man. I'm just having fun with you. I'm not giving you a hard time.
Math. I hate math.
But
I don't even know how to subtract.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. But don't trust Fetterman. Okay. I mean, we need him to vote for these guys. We could use his vote, but Pennsylvania went for Trump and has gone pretty red there. So he's worried about his reelection, man, and he's planning on running for president in the next election with the Democrats. So he's just because Fetterman's sounding reasonable and saying all these things, don't trust it. He's not us. He's still a Democrat.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Yeah. You know, I don't mind. Hey, listen, we could use his vote. If he votes with us sometimes, that's great. But you always got to remember he is a Democrat. Now, after the top of the hour, we'll go back to the calls. And also, I'm going to play some of the audio sound bites from yesterday. That was an epic fail by the Democrats. Oh, you know, the head of MSNBC resigned yesterday. That's right. I don't know if you call it resign. They assigned her. They gave her another job within the company. Some little tiny thing she's running now. So Rashida something. I can't remember her full name. It doesn't matter. But the head of MSNBC was removed yesterday. They say stepped down, transferred, whatever. So this is the beginning of the end for the current format of MSNBC. And the woman that was running it is militant BLM. So Joy Reid is, her free ride maybe about over there. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. 5 days until the return of Trump. We're, of course, celebrating that. I'm going to play some sound bites after the top of the Pete Hegseth hearing yesterday because they were so much fun. But there's a lot of other things we're going to bring up on the program today as well, and take your calls. If you're on hold, hang in there. Our number is toll-free, no matter where you are listening, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. We'll be back after this. All right. If you are new, make sure you subscribe, guys, all right? Yes, yes, yes. All right, let me see here. Oh, yeah. If you're on hold, hang in there. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there, guys. I'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number 1-888-465-2631. Of course, we're celebrating this incredible confirmation hearing with Pete Hegseth yesterday, where he just wiped the floor with those Democrats yesterday. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, this is good.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling you from Ukraine.
Oh, Ukraine. What's on your mind?
Just calling to get your take on your boy Donnie's comments regarding Greenland, Panama Canal, and Canada.
Well, they're separate things, but the Panama Canal, which, by the way, the United States built at great expense, not just financially, but at great human life loss numbers there from the malaria. We gave Panama the Panama Canal with some conditions, so we're probably going to take it back. What's your problem with that? You got a problem with that?
Well, elaborate a little bit on his 51st state comment about Canada.
Oh, you want to move on? Well, I'll finish with Panama, and then we'll get to get to that.
You know, I as far as the Panama Canal is concerned, I realize America invested a lot of money in there, but you know, my concern is that you know, the very thing that the American government accuses Russia of, it seems like they're exerting kind of colonialist behavior regarding. I mean, how do you
not at all?
How do you sign a contract? How do you sign a contract to give it back to Canada, and then you want to take it? Possibly.
No, we signed two treaties with Panama, and the condition was this: that if they did not, the Panama Canal is one of the most vital waterways in the world. It's very strategic, like Suez Canal thing, okay? And we gave it back to them under the condition that they would keep it secure. President Trump says it's being run by China. China's an enemy of the United States. So we're going to take it back, which we are obligated, and we have the okay to do according to the treaty that Panama signed. So we're going to take back the Panama Canal. National security.
Well, that could be argumentative. That could be argumentative. That's not
argumentative. No, that's true. That's true. China's running it.
I find it completely I find it hilarious that America considers China its enemy, yet you buy hundreds of billions of dollars in products from them.
We have no choice.
Enemy, why don't you just stop buying from them? You're actually empowering their military by doing business with them.
Okay, you bring up a good point. Okay, you're just not informed. That's okay. I'm going to get you up to speed so you can be, informed about the things you have opinions on. Okay. The reason we buy things from China is because the Democrats and the Republican establishment since the end of since the 70s, when Nixon opened up China, have moved American manufacturing there. And unfortunately, we have to buy these things from China. And what President Trump is working towards doing is bringing manufacturing back to the United States. We don't buy things from China because we want to. We have no choice right now. Now Greenland.
Okay,
Greenland.
There have been Republican presidents in that time frame that it didn't seem to me they were trying that hard to bring.
No, because they were sellouts, like Bush and all those. They were sellouts. They were sellouts. People like Bush are sellouts.
Anyway, the other question. What's your? I don't want to stay here forever. I know you have other callers. So what about the 51st state thing?
Are you talking about Canada?
How do you think he's going to accomplish that?
Trump's. I don't know what news. You would think with Ukraine being in a state of war with Russia that you would be more concerned about that than Donald Trump, but I guess the war's going pretty good.
But I'm not. I'm simply asking a question. Last time I called, we talked about Ukraine. That's a moot point.
No. I'm just telling you that things must be going well over there if you're worried about Trump.
No, I'm trying to figure out how do you think that Trump can accomplish making Canada a 51st state? How is that even possible? Well, why would he even make such dumb comments?
It's not a dumb comment, but I want to explain it to you. But like I said, you're not informed, okay? But I'm going to inform you, okay, on that as well, like with Panama and China. President Trump has zero intention on making Canada a state. Zero. And what he's done is made the American people aware of something that none of us knew. We give hundreds of millions of dollars each and every year in foreign aid to Canada. Just give it to them. On top of the fact that we pay for their entire military and the protection of their country militarily too. We've been funding Canada. And I don't know how long we've been doing this. And he's pointing out, when he talks about 51st state, Canada gets more help than one of our states. So that's why he points that out. He's not going to make them a state. We don't want to. They're a bunch of socialists up there.
You are aware of the fact that Canada sends hundreds of billions of dollars worth of oil to be refined in America.
We don't need it.
They built refineries themselves.
We don't need it.
A lot more money. America makes a lot of money off their oil by refining it.
We don't need Canada's oil. We have more oil in America than any other country in the world. We just don't drill for it enough.
Saudi Arabia. Okay, well.
Anyway, the United States. Yes, no. Excuse me. The United States has. The United States.
It seems like
the United States has. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'll let you finish your point.
It seems like the theme under Trump is that America needs no one. America needs no partners, no allies. They can do it all themselves.
Yeah.
And that's going to be that
We have-
isolationist thing that got
No,
America
not at
in
all.
trouble in
That's-
World War II.
No, it didn't get us in trouble. Got Europe in trouble. The United States has more oil than Saudi
No,
Arabia.
it got you in trouble because you largely stayed out of the war until Pearl Harbor got bombed, and then that
That's right.
suddenly brought you in.
That's right.
Then suddenly you realized you needed partners and you needed
No,
allies.
what Trump is doing is not isolationist. He's establishing America in its proper position as the leader of the free world.
By whose standards?
The American standards. We're number one.
Why can't China be the leader of the free world?
Because they're not
what
free.
issue there? Because America says-
Yes, America's the best, and China's not free. It's a military dictatorship.
Have you seen the infrastructure? Have you seen the infrastructure in China as compared to America?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well,
America is way behind.
Not at all. What you're seeing is just smoke and mirrors.
Have you
But
been
they're
to
not.
China? Have you seen?
I don't need
the
to go to
projects they
China.
built?
No, I'm not going to China. Listen, the United
Okay,
States.
I've been there several times, and I
Well,
can tell
fine.
you the technology, the infrastructure, the trains, everything.
Yeah.
They spent trillions.
Yeah.
While you were spending trillions in Afghanistan,
They're not-
They were increasing their
They're,
infrastructure.
they are China. You said something. You asked a question that was insanely stupid. You said, "Why can't China be the leader of the free world? They're not free. It's a communist
Yeah, why can't
dictator.
they?
Because it's not a free country. You know, if you have a Bible in China, you go to prison."
Well, you see, here's the problem. It's becoming blatantly clear that the dollar is going to lose its position as the reserve currency in the world. It's just a matter of time.
Keep telling
So
you.
someone else
Then
is
what?
gonna-
Then what? Then
gotta
what's
take over that
your? Then
role.
what's your dictator Zelensky going to do with all those dollars we've been giving him if they're going to be worthless? Why is Zelensky taking all those dollars? Your dictator.
Well, you call him a dictator, which is complete nonsense.
Hold on a
I've
second.
Lived in Ukraine for 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
I've lived in Ukraine for 10 years.
Yeah.
I've heard you say that the Ukraine kidnaps kids off the street, sends them to the front line. That's
I didn't
complete
say
BS.
that. I've never
been here
said that.
10
I
years
have
straight.
never said that. I've never said that. But Zelensky's.
Well, you call him a dictator.
Let me
This is
explain myself.
A democratic country.
No, but there's
I don't
been
know where
his
you-
ter-
I
because
don't know
his
where you get
term-
your facts.
his
And
term-
The funny part is, I live here.
Yeah,
I doubt
good.
you've even been here.
Good.
If you want to make accusations,
Stay there.
You can't back up.
I'm-
You can't back them up.
If you would stop talking,
You just
I'll
pull stuff
stop.
out of your-
Listen, if you stop talking, I'll explain.
I mean, I realize you have a radio show and you have to keep people interested, but at least speak facts.
This is factual. Listen, Zelensky's term as president is over, and he has suspended elections. He is in office past his term.
Of course he suspended elections because they're in the middle of a war. Because if you bring a lot of people into voting places, buildings, they could be bombed and there could be mass casualties.
The United
That's all that
States
is.
has never.
Any country,
we have
any
had.
country would
no,
invoke,
that's
any
not true.
Country would invoke
That's not true.
Martial,
In the United
listen,
States,
any country
excuse
would
me.
invoke martial
No,
law
excuse
under
me.
the
You
conditions
listen.
that Ukraine are under.
In the United States,
any country's going to invoke martial law in wartime conditions.
No, that's not true.
Period.
In the United States, we've never suspended an election, even during the Civil War.
Okay, well, do you remember when the United States? Do you remember when the United States imprisoned Japanese people that lived in America for generations in World War II just because they were Japanese? I guess you forget that.
No,
That's even
they
worse
weren't.
than suspending elections.
First off, they weren't Japanese. They were Americans of Japanese descent. They were Americans.
Okay, exactly. But they come from Japan and they lived in America.
No, they
for
came.
generations.
No, they came
so
from.
Why did you put them behind barbed wire?
I didn't. A Democrat did. Franklin Roosevelt did, and that was awful.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Your government did. You said.
But that was
you wanna
80
talk
years
about the
ago.
government.
That was
Part of the
80
government.
years
Your
ago.
government did that.
All right, listen. I got to run for a break, but you should be.
It's
You
still
should be
fact.
excited about Trump because
It's
he's
still
going to
fact.
end the war over there. The Russian-Ukraine war is going to
Listen,
end.
Trump is already backpedaling. He's not going to end that war in 24 hours. That's just
All right.
some more of those
Keep telling
BS
you.
promises.
All right,
You know,
take
you
care.
think he's going to
Take
end
care.
that war?
Take care. Oh my goodness. We'll be right back. Pretty good call. I think it was a good call. How does he have time to worry about Trump? Exactly. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. And if you're already subscribed, please like the video if you don't mind. Any country. Why can't China be the leader of the free world? They're not free. Oh, my goodness. Less than a minute. We'll be back, guys. Great calls today. If you're on hold, hang in there. 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. There is only one opening on the board at 1-888-465-2631. Oh, no, every line on the board is lit. If you're on hold, hang in there. I want to tell everyone about Mike Lindell at MyPillow. Great gifts, great deals with our promo code Kane. Free shipping on orders over $75. You know, the MyPillow 6-piece towel set. Oh, man, a whole bunch of new colors in. My wife and I have a couple of sets of these. These towels, you've heard Mike Lindell say in his commercials, towels that actually work. What a concept. And I didn't really know what that meant until I got the MyPillow towels. And just to give you, I give you two examples of the MyPillow towels and how spectacular they are. One day, I had a big 16-ounce cup of coffee. And I had it in my hand. Thankfully, it was in a paper Starbucks cup. I bumped into the wall and dropped the coffee on my tile floor. And it was right outside my guest bathroom. I reached in and grabbed a MyPillow towel, a white one, and I just dropped it on top of the coffee. And it had creamer in it. And I picked it up. The floor was dry, and all of the coffee was being held by the towel. Isn't that something? It was like a Bounty TV commercial, but it was real with the towel. That's how much it absorbs. And I walked it out to the garage, which is where we have our washer and dryer. It held the coffee the entire time. It didn't drip and leave a trail all the way across the house. That's how good it is. And then when I washed and dried it, the coffee all came out. You couldn't even tell I used it for that. There was another day that I got in the shower, and I was done showering. I got out. There were no towels in there. All the towels were dirty. And I reached over. All I had was the little washcloth. The MyPillow towel set comes with washcloths, too. I reached for the washcloth. I dried off my hair and an entire body with the washcloth. I was completely bone dry. That's how good they absorb. They're under $50 right now with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, for the MyPillow towels. And also, you can use our promo code Kane for all the specials at MyPillow.com, including the new Mike Lindell My Cross, the same cross Mike Lindell wears. There's a version for men and women. It's the same cross that Mike Lindell wears. You've seen it on him for years. He's famous for this. It's $40 off of each one of the crosses and free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, every line on the board is lit, so let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Sue, and I'm calling from Arizona.
Hey, Sue in Arizona. What's on your mind?
Well, I just want to say that I was just scrolling through YouTube, and I saw your podcast for the first time, and I was so excited. I'm always excited to talk to people about Trump when they will listen.
Absolutely.
And I watched a good many hours of the Pete Hegseth thing yesterday.
Wasn't that
and
spectacular?
It was, but I thought the Democratic, the women, I thought were outrageous. I thought they had so much nerve, the way they were talking to, a patriot. And so anyway, I just want to say that I voted for Trump from the very beginning.
Good for you.
I've always liked him. And I really thought, I have to tell you, I had a nervous breakdown this past summer, things that were just going on in my life and everything. And then when Kamala Harris got the nomination, she didn't get the nomination. You know what I'm saying? When she became the candidate.
Yeah, she was appointed.
I thought my life was over. I mean, because things were going so badly. And that was just like the icing, on the cake. And I really, for 4 years or more, have felt so alone. The immigration thing and all that. I'm like, nobody thinks like you. Nobody thinks like you. And then except for Trump. And I love Homan. I love Cash. I love Pete Hegseth. Every day.
Well, you're not alone. You found me, so you're not alone.
Yeah, I found my people.
That's right, your people. We're your people. The lost tribe of MAGA.
Every day is my birthday. Every day is my birthday, and so it was interesting because, right before the election, I was so worried, and then he won, and I was like, the transformation of my life was because I felt like that I wasn't alone. I mean, I was listening to all these people just getting so excited, and it was, I don't know, I can't tell you. Every day is just my birthday. I wake up every morning and I search.
Well, you're in Arizona. Did you say you're in Arizona?
Arizona, and I'm so sorry that Carrie Lake didn't win.
That's okay. Yeah, well, listen. The ghost of John McCain, that John McCain Republican machine is strong in Arizona. They're never going to let Carrie Lake win anything out there. It's just not going to happen.
Oh man, I don't know. I think that she went too hard on the abortion issue. I just wish that she had, because I just wish she'd backed off
Carrie Lake didn't do anything wrong, but she, the Republican establishment has been overthrown by Trump. But they are still in power in Arizona. That's it. How many counties do you have in Arizona?
Oh, I don't know.
Like four or five, right? So,
a lot.
You have like 4 or 5. Well, I'm in Florida. In Florida, we have 67 counties in Florida. 67.
Oh, yeah, not like that.
And you have like 4 or 5 in Arizona, right? Not that many. And Maricopa's huge, and Maricopa hates Carrie Lake. So there's no way. The only hope Carrie Lake has is maybe a House seat, maybe. But she's never going to win a statewide race in Arizona. They're not going to let her. But hey, listen, I'm glad you found this, and welcome.
Okay, and I want to ask you one thing that I saw the other day that maybe you know the answer to, and I don't. Why does Steve Bannon not like Elon Musk?
I've talked about this a lot. I believe, and I'm a big fan of Steve Bannon, but I love Elon and I love Trump. Bannon's jealous. Trump fired Bannon early on in the first term. He worked for Trump. He fired him, if you remember. And he's jealous of Elon, I believe. Bannon doesn't have the access to Trump that he thinks he deserves, and he's jealous. And that's it. But he could get beyond that and be back. I wouldn't write Steve Bannon off yet. He's just he's he feels that he's owed a seat at the table that he's not getting. He went to prison and all.
Oh, well, Elon, I just want to say thank you to him. I mean, he certainly, could be doing many other things, but, he can't be president. I wish he could.
Mm-hmm.
All these patriots who are stepping forward, I appreciate every single one of them, because I felt so alone, and now I feel
you're not alone.
Wow,
well, welcome. I'm gonna move on, but thanks for calling and welcome to the community. All right, so hey, oh man, I tell you, yeah, don't feel alone. I know it can feel that way, and I'm lucky. I'm in Florida, right? I'm in MAGA country. Anytime I feel lonely, well, I could just talk to you guys in the audience, and you guys are out there, or I could just drive over and take a look at Mar-a-Lago. I cannot wait for Air Force One to be back here in Palm Beach. I want to tell you guys about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. He has rid me of pain 7 times. Both of my shoulders I've had injuries in, and one of my shoulders I've had 2 injuries in. He's rid me of pain every time. His laser away pain treatment works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. It works. It's 100% painless. Dr. Appleton performs all the laser treatments himself. There are no shots, no injections, no drugs, and no downtime. And what the laser treatment does, it repairs the damage that's causing the pain. That's why the pain doesn't return. It's absolutely amazing. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays with Dr. Appleton. And we have listeners that come from all over the country to see Dr. Appleton. While appointments are not necessary, you can make them. And it's also a no-charge consultation with Dr. Appleton. If you have x-rays or MRIs or anything, bring them with you. He'll gladly take a look at them. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain, like I've done 7 times. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. That's AppletonChiro.com. All right, we're at the midpoint of the show. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break. There's one opening on the board at 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Oh, man. Things are looking good, guys. We're at the halfway point. Welcome, everyone. And I'm going to go back to the calls after the break. That guy from Ukraine. Oh, my goodness. I mean, think about it. If you're in Ukraine, you want the war to end, right? Shouldn't you welcome Trump, who's going to end it? Biden, the Democrats, the establishment, they don't want to end that war. That guy should be very pro-Trump. Well, I'm at work. I'm very lucky that I'm at work, Daniel. All right. Oh, yeah. 5 days till the return of Trump. All right. Okay, 3.5 minutes and we'll be back live. I'll be right back, guys. 1 minute. 1 minute, and we will be back. Thirty seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. Of course, 5 days until the inauguration of our greatest president, Donald Trump, and we are celebrating this incredible confirmation hearing with Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. We might as well already all start saying it, right? Did he not just do an amazing job? All right, there's 2 openings on our board at 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff. How you doing?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff. You're on the air.
Hey, that caller from Ukraine, he was... Yeah, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. It sounded like we had a bad connection.
Yeah.
And my point is that guy was not in Ukraine with a connection as good as that was.
No, he actually was. I checked. No, he called from Ukraine. I checked.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did he have such a good phone connection?
Because our tax money is rebuilt the entire infrastructure of Ukraine.
That's right.
That's why.
Yeah, and you know that's the type of socialist right there that when communism takes over, they won't even know it's bad because they're too foolish. If it wasn't for America, Nazi Germany would have taken over Europe and Russia and Ukraine. And we gave more lives in World War II than all the others combined.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And this country's, we stand for freedom. That guy is a Fruit Loop. I don't know what he was talking about. And why isn't he thanking Trump for coming in? Because he's going to put an end to that war.
Because they don't want the war to end. When the war ends, the money's gone.
The money ends. That's right. And Trump will end that war so fast that it will spin their heads over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
But,
I know.
I called about Pete Hegseth. You know, he demonstrated such courage under fire and had a wonderful demeanor. And that one senator, I forget his name, he said, how many of you here have, and he started blasting them on their intermarital affairs and divorces. And I forget who that gentleman's name was, but he let into him because that guy was spot on. They're all more guilty of way worse than what Pete Hegseth ever did.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. Pete Hegseth is exactly what you want in a combat leader, an officer that's leading men in battle. I mean, he was so calm and cool under intense pressure yesterday.
Yep. And his responses were just spot on. His demeanor never changed. He was not emotional at all. He was just a matter of fact. These are the facts. I messed up. He couldn't have done. Nobody could have done better under those circumstances.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we got a bad connection with you, Jeff. Maybe, you know, if Maine gets invaded by Russia, maybe Biden will fix the phones in Maine.
All right, have a great day, Brian. God
all
bless.
right, take care. You know, I figure that these Washington creeps, they must not be able to steal money when they do things in the United States. They are able to steal it through foreign aid, but not here, or they make things better here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
I have to tell you about the hearing yesterday with Pete Hegseth real quick. He won that thing right away. You know why he won it? Because right away he said the Lord Jesus Christ forgave him. And then these mere mortal sinners who were hypocritical sinners started attacking him. And I knew he was a winner from that point on, because what are you going to do? You're going to accuse a guy of something and pounce on him? And then he says, well, Jesus Christ has forgiven me. You're not going to go against Jesus Christ, are you?
Yep.
That's number one. Got to address these schmucks that called, and I call them schmucks, this guy that says we're followers and uneducated, that caller that said Pete Hegseth would make a good soldier, but not to be able to. In other words, you're good enough to go and die for the country, but you're not good enough to send soldiers over there or actually run the show. I mean, this guy's a moron that called. He says we're followers. Guy, I hope you're still listening. We had a choice in the election. We had a brain dead president who gave his rights up to a total moron. So we either vote for the moron or we vote for President Trump.
That's right.
What do you do if you're intelligent? If you're intelligent, my friend, you vote for President Trump. You don't vote for somebody who can't say a sentence.
That's right.
Okay, that I got to get that out of the way right away, because all these people, and the guy from Ukraine, by the way, that said China is so good. Well, you know, if you were making Apple phones in this country in a factory, you'd be making probably between $20 and $30 an hour. You know what they make over in China, smart ass?
30 cents.
Excuse me, I hope I could say that. Yeah, about 30. No, maybe a nickel an hour.
An hour. You know, and you know, China. I just saw a report out of China about all the elevator deaths. That all the elevators just randomly fall. It's like in that first scene in Speed with Keanu Reeves, that the elevators just fall all the time and everybody inside gets killed.
How about their drywall?
Yes.
Eventually they got some of their buildings. They got some of their buildings built with that drywall. You're going to start seeing cancer all over the place over there. It won't be a matter of time. I mean, these idiots. I can't believe it.
Well, you know, the guy from Ukraine has a perfect American accent. He's like a
he was born here.
Well, born here.
He was born here.
He's kind of like one of those sleeper agents that they you know, Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, so they got a shared thing. You know, he's like it's like talking to Tokyo Rose. That guy, Tokyo Rose was born in Ohio. He's Tokyo. He's Ukraine Rose.
Yeah, when President Trump, by the way, you were right. When President Trump says Canada, we're going to make him 51st state. Well, by him making that statement, and he threatened Trudeau that he was going to charge him tariffs on the cars, and we don't need the cars coming from Canada. And this guy was on the edge. He actually overthrew him because the fact of the matter is the people are not happy in Canada with the socialist president right now. That party took over.
What Trump was. You're right about all that. Trudeau would still be prime minister if it were not for Trump. But the other thing is, I think I had no idea that we gave any foreign aid to Canada. They're a first world country.
I didn't either.
I mean, I don't approve of really any foreign aid, but usually you send it to like third world countries. They're Canada, out of all the countries in the world, even though they're socialist, Canada is as close to the United States as you can get without being the United States. They are a first world country, and we are funding the entire country. Everything. We're funding their health care. We're funding their healthcare system, their military. We're even paying their dues.
The military.
We're even paying their dues to England to be a part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, why would we have our military? Why don't they have their own military? You know why they don't have their own military? Because the socialist ways couldn't afford it.
They do have a military. No, they have a military. We're just paying for it.
Very small. We're their military.
That's correct.
We're their military.
Yeah, they have a joint force.
Just like NATO. We are their military.
That's right.
They might have little. I mean, who do you think is supplying all these weapons?
Mm-hmm.
France, maybe England a little bit.
If we cut off our foreign aid to Canada, which we should do 100%, the first world, they shouldn't get 10 cents. They would collapse. There's social. Everybody when they want to, like during Obamacare, look at Canada. They have. Well, we're paying for it. If the United States cut foreign aid, that healthcare system would fail. They wouldn't have the money to support it.
No, they don't, because they're giving everything away. Look at California. The first major disaster, they're looking for the whole country to bail them out because they don't have the money. You know why? Because they're giving needles to the addicts.
That's
and they
right.
got the homeless all over, and they're giving them.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is socialist states, socialist countries. They depend on people like the United States to support them, and people better get that through their heads. And thank God, by that lady in Arizona, by the way, ma'am, don't worry about it. You had a nervous breakdown because you saw this country going down the toilet like everybody else does. The ones that don't see the country going down the toilet are the ones that are putting the country into the toilet.
She's in Arizona. Arizona's being invaded. There's a ground invasion from the south going through Arizona. You'd be depressed too. All right, Richie, I got to run, but thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, please do. It's toll free, no matter where you're listening. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Don't forget this Monday at noon, join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs, for our Bye Bye Biden Trump inauguration celebration. We are going to have the televisions at Wings Plus. It's a sports restaurant. They have TVs for the games all over the place. They're all going to be on the inauguration, and you are all invited. Wings Plus is about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. There's plenty of parking, plenty of tables, and plenty of food. We'll see you there Monday at noon. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back with your calls after this. Yeah, Monday when I did the show from this studio, I felt good, but today it's totally natural to do the radio show from here. I got it down pat, which is awesome. Okay. yesterday, it took me in the morning with no traffic, 50 minutes to get to the radio station. And, about 90 minutes to get home. So using this studio helps me a lot. It also makes the show better because that driving just can wear you down. Welcome. Make sure you subscribe. If you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I host a morning radio show that's on a whole bunch of FM stations here in Florida. And, of course, I'm live streaming here on YouTube and other places while we're on the radio. So the callers you were hearing, some of them are on the radio, some of them are on YouTube, some of them are on other platforms listening. 2.5 minutes, we'll be back. The show is flying by. Now, guys, don't forget, if you're in the state of Florida and you need roof repairs or replacement for any type of structure, call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. You know, Tom can help you with whether it's residential, commercial, or municipal. He can help you. He works with every type of roofing material, and he can handle the job of any size, a small single-family home or a community with over 200 buildings. Give him a call. This is Tom Laporta's cell phone number, all right? You can call or text, and that number is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. But the number on the website's not his cell. The number I gave you, that's the direct number, all right? 954-604-4602. That's Tom Laporta's cell phone number. Give him a call. All right. 30 seconds. If you're on hold, hang in there. Yes. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. And, of course, we are 5 days, 4 hours, and 12 minutes away from the inauguration of President Trump as our 47th president. And we're celebrating that incredible hearing yesterday with Pete Hegseth, which, you know, it's like what... I miss The Apprentice, okay? I was a big fan, both The Apprentice and The Celebrity Apprentice. I love that show. I watched it, my wife with my daughter, we watched it every week, The Apprentice and The Celebrity Apprentice. I miss that show so much. But that hearing with Pete Hegseth yesterday was like the Apprentice. It's now The Political Apprentice, but that's it. I mean, this is exciting stuff. All right, back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, can
Yeah,
you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Hey, this is Jeff from Florida. Quick question. Let me just, what are your thoughts on immigration having an impact on our economy?
I don't know what that means. You got to be more specific. That's very vague. Yeah?
Hello?
Yeah, you got to be more specific. All right. Oh, my goodness. There you go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Bob from Jupiter.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, real quickly, a couple things. Do you remember Lloyd? Couldn't talk, couldn't say anything when he was doing it. Where was all his vetting at? And then what about Colin Powell? Remember the C student who couldn't get us through anything, and he was so great. Well, how come he wasn't vetted more properly?
Yeah, exactly. Well, because they're Democrats. Even Colin Powell was Colin Powell was a fake Republican.
He was a fake Republican, exactly. The other thing, real quick, I didn't know I was going to get on the air so quickly, is Kamala has a chance. If she was a real American, and for all those people who voted for her, why won't she go to her home state in California, and she's got a week left, go in there and give some support, and some just get in there and help out a little bit, and
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because she's been on a bender. She's been drinking ever since she lost. All right. I mean, and I'm not kidding. If Kamala Harris were a half decent person, she would go out to California and do everything she could to help California these fires. But all she is looking at the bottom of wine bottles, worrying about herself.
And how easy would that be? Emotional support. How easy? She could win over the hearts of California so easy if she would just go over there and help out a little bit. But she doesn't care. If she went out there
and took a lead out there, which she's entitled to do as the vice president, she very well could be the next governor of California.
Exactly. Well, and even if she reached out to Trump, hey, this is let me do something, she would get, everybody would embrace her. But no. Well,
you know what it is? Kamala Harris has never done anything in her life. You know how she got where she is, right?
I hear that she was slept with, was it Willie Brown or something?
She had sex with a married man. Yeah, she slept her way to the top. So the idea of actually doing something is she doesn't even understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, she just doesn't understand. But and with the fire, it's so much different than a hurricane. I know she complained about DeSantis and that she wasn't in the loop, and DeSantis kept her out of the loop. Well, why didn't she get in the loop there? With a hurricane, it's so different. With a fire, the roads are fried. The whole everything, the infrastructure is gone. Mm-hmm. It's never like that with a hurricane. You always have something. With a fire, it's complete devastation.
But you make a good point. In fact, nobody's made this point. If she went out to California and got involved and took the lead and worked with President Trump with the new administration to help California, she would turn her reputation around and she could be somebody. But she's so stupid 100%. And so incompetent, this would not even occur to her.
It would be so easy to do, too. You don't have to be a rock. It's emotional support more than anything. She could lend her name and get in there, but don't want to do anything.
Yeah, good point, caller. Difficult. Thanks for the call. Man, that guy made a good point. I haven't heard anybody actually bring that up. Have you? All right, let's go. We have great calls today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I heard him pick up the phone. Yes.
Hello, Brian?
Yeah. What's your name?
Oh, hey. Sorry, it sounds like you're on speaker. It's Ben from Pamela.
Hey, Ben. What's up?
Hey, how you doing? I want to tell you're having a thing at Wings Plus on Monday, you said?
Monday at noon for the inauguration, the Sample Road location of Wings Plus in Coral Springs.
All right, I'm going to see if I can do that. I wanted to call in. I heard the guy that called in is idiot, such an idiot about the
Which one?
Zelensky. The one who is apparently sympathetic towards communist China, being the leader of the free world. And saying that Zelensky isn't a dictator, even though he jailed opposition journalists, jailed opposition opponents, suspended elections indefinitely. And they always have an alibi. It's always, it's a state of emergency. So it doesn't, but that guy was a complete moron. And it sounds like he was like a sympathetic towards China's Communist Party. I mean, these people throw in dissidents in jail.
You know what it sounded like to me? You know what it sounded like to me? It sounds to me that he's a professional Ukrainian propagandist. I said he's like Tokyo Rose, right? He's Ukraine Rose. He may be an American, like Tokyo Rose was, and they had them in Germany too. His job is to get messaging out on American media to prolong this war. He does not want the war to end, because when the war ends, the money stops.
Right, and he's so dumb. Trump's not an isolationist. He's not a neocon, but he's not an isolationist. I mean, did a missile strike on Soleimani. That's not isolationism.
Mm-hmm.
He strikes a good balance that we're not used to, but it doesn't make him an isolationist. So this guy just fire hoses mainstream media and then believes it. I don't know why he was speaking so highly of China. These people are brutal totalitarian regimes, and they do terrible things to their people. They organ harvest. They persecute anyone who is a threat to throwing people in jail. And he's talking about, their infrastructure and how, they could be the leader of the free world. He's a complete fool. I mean, or he's, probably a communist, like a covert communist.
The thing about it is, what President Trump is doing is reestablishing America's proper place as leader of the world.
Yeah. And, that's exactly, we've gone through this song and dance before. They're so bitter that they lost. So what do? They go at the beginning and there's so now they lost. So now they say all his policies aren't going to work. They couldn't beat him by lying about him and saying he was a threat to democracy and literally Hitler. And so he gets in anyway, no one listens. So their next step is to just go after the agenda. Well, it's not even going to work anyways. We saw this in 2016, and people lived through 2016, and they wanted a second helping of it. And they just this is better than him having 2 consecutive turns, because this is the American people pretty much admitting, hey, we made a mistake. We should have got you in 2020.
About 3.5, 4 years ago, I told you guys this on this program. I said, we are going to find that when Trump has 2 non-consecutive terms, he's going to come back with that second term with a mandate, and he's going to get and look where we are. I was very much correct about that.
Oh yeah, because it was night and day contrast. It was back to back. We lived through Trump, we lived through Biden, and this really is one of the most momentous elections because of the conditions. They tried to jail him, FBI raids. They tried to take him down with fake accusations.
And don't forget, they tried to kill him, too. They shot him, and then they tried to do it again at the golf course.
To that. Yeah, I was getting to that. There was 2 assassination attempts, probably a third by Iran.
I wanted to throw this out. Who was that young Twitch streamer that gave Trump the Cybertruck that had the fight rap on it? Aiden Ross. Okay, yesterday, because, the radio station, I live not far from Mar-a-Lago, I saw a Cybertruck with that wrap on it yesterday in Palm Beach County. And I was going north and it was going south, and I was going to make a U-turn to follow it because who's driving that? Is it Elon? Is it Don Jr.? I don't know. Whoever was driving that had to be somebody. And I was like, but I it was a red light. It kept going. I couldn't catch up to it. I don't know who's driving that Cybertruck, but I saw the Aiden Ross Cybertruck yesterday going down the road here. I was like,
That's pretty cool.
I know.
That's pretty cool.
I know.
It's so cool living so close to Mar-a-Lago because right now it's the center of the universe.
That's right.
Every single important player in the world leaders are vying to be in Trump's inner circle. China's begging to be in Trump's inner circle. Everyone wants to be a part of the party. Palm Beach is the center of the universe, and it's amazing how normal. I saw a woman in the Connecticut state legislature. She was one of their local representatives wearing a MAGA vest. I mean, this stuff is getting so normalized. Remember, you would have gotten punched in the face wearing a MAGA hat walking down any major city.
That's right.
Now we have, suburban mom book clubs, and they're all wearing
well,
MAGA hats.
Next week, I'm going to Los Angeles to visit my daughter. I don't know if I should bring the MAGA gear with me.
Dude, do it.
Do it?
The time of being in the closet is over.
I could be out.
And guess what? You got to be out. And you know what? With all those fires, they're all these people are. I heard Megyn Kelly come out the other day, said she had one woke friend who lived in L.A. and she said her woke friend, her friends' woke friends, they all want to vote for Republicans. Republicans would be such a welcome change given that fire. I mean, they all deep down know that this is just typical Democrat mismanagement. This wasn't climate change. This wasn't. There are some arson, but at the end of the day, it was them having the best tax revenue base in the world.
Well, listen, I'm out of time for the hour. I got to run, but hopefully we'll see you at Wings Plus on Sample Road Monday.
Yeah. I'll make an effort. Yeah.
All right, take it. Now, listen, guys, when you come to Wings Plus, come up to Steve and me, all right, and introduce yourself, okay? Don't be afraid. We don't know what you look like, but you know what we look like, all right? It's Monday at noon, the 20th, for the inauguration, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs of Wings Plus, about a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Great calls today. We'll be right back. All right. Let me cue some things up for the next hour. We'll be back in 2 minutes, okay? I got to get to some of these audio sound bites. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, okay? I'm texting with Mike, the board op. We're coordinating when we're coming back, and he's telling me what commercials I have to do, so and all that. We'll be back in a minute and a half or so. If you're on hold, hang in there. Great calls today. 1 minute. Yeah, if you look on my YouTube channel, I put up a video last week. I gave a real quick look behind the scenes of my studio here. You can take a look at that. Okay. 30 seconds. You're all welcome to call in. I have one line less than we have at the radio station here at this studio. Okay, here we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. Oh, man, third hour has begun. We are 5 days, 2 hours, and 56 minutes away from the greatest president ever, Donald Trump's inauguration, and I am excited as can be. All right, I'm going to go back to the phones. I haven't gotten to any of the sound bites from the hearing yesterday, but I'll try to squeeze some in this hour. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yep. Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, it's Joan from Tampa Bay. How you doing?
All right, Joan.
Let me turn off my volume.
Yeah, please. That's okay. Yes.
Biden said a couple of days ago he's going to take care of everything in California.
Really? In 5 days?
Yeah. Yeah, he announced that. He's
great.
going to take care of it all, right?
Yeah.
And then he sits around and with his chest puffed up, sitting at a desk saying, if you apply to FEMA, everybody's that applies is going to get a $770 check.
Oh, in California, that's about a tank of gas.
Yeah. So that's not taking care of everything. I guess he better have a very large bank account because.
So let me get this straight. I just lost my home. I just lost my home and everything in it, and he's giving me $750. Oh wow, that's awesome.
$770.
Oh, $770. Well, thank you very much. I can rebuild my home in Malibu now. Thank you, Biden. What a jerk.
And then when you file your taxes, if you received FEMA money, that's considered income. And your tax return is actually deducted for that $770.
You know, I got to tell you, I feel, I found out, did I mention this on the air yesterday? I think I did. In California, there are 5.5 million registered Republicans in the state of California. 5.5 million registered Republicans. That's more than we have in Florida. We have 5.3 million registered Republicans in Florida. Isn't that something? And
well, I'm one of them.
Well, so am I. But, California, can you imagine what it must be like? You've lost your home. It's gone. And you still got to make the mortgage payment? Oh, my goodness. Or they'll foreclose on the property. The taxes, yeah. Even though the state that's been collecting your taxes didn't come to your aid. Hey, Joan, I appreciate the call. Take care. I gotta tell you, I've been saying this. We've had great calls today. Every day we've had you guys out there that have been calling the show lately. You're very, very high quality content with your calls. I must tell you, and I appreciate that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Million registered Republicans in the state of California.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, he's got me on. Yeah, turn down the volume in the background.
Yeah, I'm trying. Hold on.
That's okay.
It's Frenchie from
California.
Stewart.
Hey, Frenchie, you got to turn the volume down first, man. There's the delay. Okay, go ahead, Frenchie.
Your format when you change your format when you call now. You actually put me on hold. Before, I used to listen to your show on the phone, and I couldn't tell that you were calling me.
Well, I'm not calling you. You're calling me. You're calling me.
I thought the guy with the beard, the senator with the beard I think he's from Oklahoma, who pointed out what the qualifications are for the defense secretary.
Mm-hmm.
That guy did a good job.
Yeah, he was great.
And then when Pete answered, what's her name? Pocahontas from Massachusetts, and said that he's not a general. That was a good one.
They were all good ones, weren't they? Pete Hegseth filleted them. He was like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix.
Yeah. I watched it for about 2 hours, and then I couldn't take the Democrats anymore. So
it was must-see TV. I watched every minute of it.
Yeah, I can't listen to the woman Democrats.
Oh, they look terrible. What they did. They humiliated themselves yesterday.
Yeah, they're bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same guy with the beard there, he said, well, one of the qualifications for us being a senator, You know, it's like some of us don't even belong here.
Who's the guy with the beard? Doug Emhoff? Who's the guy with the beard?
I think he's from Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the senator. Yeah, he's very good. He was very good at the end.
Yeah.
He basically was
guy.
he was basically calling Tim Kaine a drunk. He did it indirectly, but that's what he was doing.
Yeah, but like I say, I watched a couple hours. I watched it till about noon, and then I ate my lunch, and I started doing something else.
And Pete Hegseth ate their lunch. All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, it's Carrie. How are you this morning?
All right, Carrie, what's on your mind?
Very quickly, how come there's music now when we're on hold?
I'm just not at the regular. I'm at another an undisclosed location today, broadcasting.
Oh, witness security. You got it.
Yeah.
Very quickly, I don't know if someone mentioned it. They started a recall for Newsom. Why don't Kamala shoot out there and go for the gold?
You know, the caller I got in the last hour, he made a great point. He said Kamala could go out to California and make herself into a heroine and be somebody, but she's never worked for anything she's had. She's just we know what she's done to get where she's at.
Yeah.
But if she went out to California, okay, and just coordinated, she could work out a deal. She could work out an arrangement with President Trump to be a representative of his in California. He would do it to get California together. And she very well could be the next governor, but she's incompetent, stupid, never done anything in her life, so it doesn't even occur to her.
Yeah, but being they're doing a recall, this would be a very good opportunity for her, and she just doesn't see it.
Well,
And,
if you look at Kamala's whole life, when has she done anything to that's considered like work or anything?
Everything's been handled.
All right, take care. That's right, by men. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes?
Yeah, Jay from Jersey.
Oh, hey, Jay. How you doing? 5 days till Trump.
Oh, God. 5 days before I get to call you and throw all the stuff that's going to happen in your face. 5 days. I'm counting down to.
Mm-hmm.
So believe me, I'm going to call and throw all the craziness that he's getting ready
Did you see Pete Hegseth yesterday do a great job?
Yeah, he did do a great job. He brought out all the disgustingness of this guy. Why? Let me ask you a question. Why has Trump picked nothing but child molesters, cheating on the wives, all that kind of disgusting sort of people?
What?
Just like him.
Who cheated on their wife?
Who
cheated on their wife?
Cheated on his wife
Who?
and had a baby on his wife.
Who cheated on their wife?
You know who I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
The man that I don't even know that man's name.
Who?
I don't want to know
Give me
that
a
white
hint.
man's name.
Who cheated on his wife? Give me a hint.
The one that you just talked about.
Pete
The
Hegseth?
one he was drilling yesterday.
Pete Hegseth?
Yeah.
He didn't cheat on his wife.
Yes, he did.
No, they weren't married when he had sex with that woman. They were not married.
Listen.
They weren't married.
Okay, listen. He paid off the 17-year-old.
First of all, she wasn't. Excuse me, she wasn't 17. Where do you get this information? She was not 17.
That information is right on to. Yes, she was. That's why he paid her off.
Pete Hegseth, it was an adult woman that was married with children.
Let me ask you a question. If you didn't do nothing wrong, why did you pay her off or put her under a gag order? If you didn't do nothing,
I'll tell you. I'll tell you in a moment. Pete Hegseth, he had consensual sex with a woman. She was married. Pete was not at the time. Okay. He paid her off because he mentioned this yesterday. She was bringing a nuisance lawsuit against him, and he was afraid it would hurt his job at Fox, where he was earning $2.5 million a year.
if he didn't do nothing wrong, you ain't got to pay nobody off if you ain't do nothing wrong.
That's not
Don't
true.
you know that? Are you that? Do you realize could you be that dumb? Could you really be that dumb?
When you have a contract for someone like Fox News, they have something called a morals clause. And if someone brings a nuisance lawsuit and makes a false allegation like that against you, they can terminate your contract. even if it's not true.
It wasn't a false allegation.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't
The
a
police,
false
the
allegation.
California
Let me
police said
ask
it
you a
was.
question. Here's another question. Every time somebody that's a Republican cheats, you tell everybody how it didn't happen. How is it you in charge of other men's penises?
Well, I'm not in charge of other men's penises, but to cheat.
But you seem to know where they're at.
But to cheat
You
on.
seem to know what they did with them.
To cheat on your wife. To cheat on your wife, you have to have a wife. He was not married at the time. She was his girlfriend. They were dating.
He's on his third wife.
But
he cheated on
they
her.
were dating. They were dating. They weren't married yet when that happened.
You seem to know about everything Trump does with his penis. You seem to know what everything this man does with his. You were not there, but you act like you was there like a fly on the wall and seeing whether he did it or not.
All right.
How come is that? How could that be possible?
You sound like Tim Kaine. You like saying
but
penis.
you know what,
Why do you
though?
like talking about penises
you
so
know,
much?
But you know, you want to bring up Kamala Harris and the man she had an affair with. Oh God, yes, she did it. She did it.
Yes, she
you
did.
throw that up all the time.
Well,
But
it's
you
true.
don't
That's true.
mind if these men slept with underage kids.
The woman was not
cheated on
underage.
their
The
wives,
woman was married. Nothing you said is true.
Married strippers. I heard you
married
say
strippers.
Last week you said, what's her name's picture is art.
Okay.
Hugged up with another.
Listen, I gotta, Jay, I gotta run for a break.
Whenever I'm getting you.
I mean, it's not getting me, but we gotta take a break. All right. Oh my goodness. See what Trump's coming back. He's having a meltdown. Trump derangement syndrome is back and it's strong. All right, we're gonna take a break and be right back. Hey, Barry, it's Brian. Hey, we're in break. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. When you're on hold, you're going to hear music. But when you hear me, we'll be on the air. Okay? Great. Hold on. Uh-oh. Yeah, I lost you. I'm gonna put you on hold. Hold on. Okay. One minute, we'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. Welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. It's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning.
Great. What do you have for us today?
The middle of January, right around the time that people tend to give up on their New Year's resolutions. And, if you put some time and effort into determining what they should be, we shouldn't let them dissipate. And for some people, one of those resolutions is making sure you have your estate planning done properly, whether you have an existing plan and need to update it or you don't have anything in place. If that was one of your resolutions, I'm suggesting that you don't give up on it and take action to make sure that it gets done. Because by doing so, you protect your legacy, you protect your loved ones from having to deal with the probate process that costs a lot of money, takes a lot of time, provides a lot of aggravation, and we don't want them to have to think of you in that way, like thinking that you didn't have things prepared. We want to make sure that your beneficiaries are protected from future ex-in-laws taking half of the inheritance or all of it if it's not properly drawn up, and also protecting you from the cost of long-term care to make sure that you have an estate plan that can help you qualify for government benefits in the future if you or your spouse ever need to pay for long-term care. So for all of those reasons, don't let this New Year's resolution fall off. Take care of it so it's not lingering for the whole year, and then you're not starting over with it next year.
Yeah, that's right. And it's always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. So give them a call. It is toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk later in the week.
All right, thank you, Brian.
All right, take care. We are back. Callers on hold, stand by. Our number, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Great calls today. We've been hearing from a lot of liberals. And I got to tell you, if you're a physician who have some type of treatment program for Trump derangement syndrome, get in touch with the radio station because we have a lot of potential patients for you in this audience because the Trump derangement syndrome is back, and it's back hardcore. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Lynn from North Carolina.
Hey, what's up?
Well, you were arguing with that guy that said that Pete had, he cheated on his wife.
It's not true,
His current wife was a Fox News employee. He was married when he impregnated her.
Mm-hmm. But he wasn't married. He was not married to his current wife when that happened.
He was married to his second wife when he impregnated the wife he's married to now.
Oh, okay. And what should we do with that information?
Well, you're screaming at a guy that's telling you that he cheated on his wife, but you're broadcasting to a lot of people, and that's an important.
No, he didn't. His wife that he's married to, he was not married to her when he had, and I don't think he was. He was divorced and dating his current wife when he had this encounter at the hotel. But let me ask you. I know this isn't a polite question, but I'm sure you've had sex.
He was married to his second wife when he impregnated his current wife.
Is sex bad and a disqualifier to be defense secretary to you?
You justify anything. He's putrid. He's on his third marriage.
So what?
And what about the stuff you say about Nikki Haley?
Yeah, what about it?
It's exactly this. She was cheating on her husband. You make a big deal out of it, but this is not a big deal to you. That he impregnated a current employee of Fox News when he was married.
So I asked you this question. What do you want to do with that information?
Slow down.
I'm trying to get.
Then while she was pregnant, he went to California and had that.
Slow down for a second. So are you telling me that he should be disqualified as defense secretary because he had sex?
We're not even talking about that. We're talking about you yelling at someone when you're ill-informed.
No, I'm very informed. But I'm trying
No,
to.
you're not.
I'm
You
trying
didn't even
to.
know what I just told you.
I am trying to get information from you. So what do you want to? Is that a disqualifier to him? Of him?
Did you know that what I told you was true?
I'm not sure about I never heard the Fox employee. I don't know about that.
You're not even informed enough to be
No,
on the radio discussing this.
believe me, I'm very well informed. I'm very well informed.
Not. This is common knowledge.
Listen, I'm not your husband. You got to talk to me like a normal person and have a conversation.
This is common knowledge that you're yelling at somebody.
No,
and
he
you
was
don't
not.
Even know what
He
you're
is.
talking about.
His wife was with him yesterday. He was not married to her or anyone during that encounter in California. He was not cheating on his wife. It doesn't mean they were married.
2 months pregnant.
2 months pregnant.
2 months pregnant.
So what? They weren't married.
When he was screwing that woman in
Now
California.
let me ask you. Why do you keep repeating that over? Are you some kind of pervert or something like Tim Kaine? You just keep repeating this thing. It's almost like you're like getting into some like you're doing 50 Shades of Grey with me here. I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and you're getting all perverted on me.
You need to inform yourself before you get on the radio and try to yell at people.
Let me. What was your name? Karen from North Carolina. Let me ask you this.
My name is Lynn.
I know what your name
is. My name is Lynn.
I know your name's Lynn. You told me that. That's called a joke. But as most liberals, you have no sense of humor. So
why is it okay? Why is it okay when Pete does
no,
it,
I'm
not
asking,
Nikki?
Well, there's a difference between Nikki Haley and what Pete Hegseth did.
What is it?
She was married at the time. He was not married.
He was married when he was married when he knocked up his
knocked up. Knocked up. You mean impregnated the mother of his child? That's what you call knocked up?
Well, he was married to another woman.
I told you he was not married to his current wife at the time of the incident in Monterey.
Okay, but he was married to his second wife.
How many times are you, let me ask you something.
Third wife.
Are you into like porn or something? Because I'm trying to have I'm trying to have an adult. Me get out of here. You called me.
You can't even.
All right, thank you for the call. I'm trying to have a conversation, and you just keep going back to the sex stuff. What you know? It's very unusual. I've talked to a lot of men on the phone who are pervs. It's very rare to get a woman. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara in Baltimore.
Hey, hold on one second, Barbara. Oh my goodness! I mean, this woman just wanted to go over the sex stuff over again. It's like she was reliving it. You know, before you get into your thing, Barbara, the reason I was talking to her about that is I'm not approving of anything that he did with the previous marriages and everything. I'm like the Chick-fil-A guys. I'm married to my first wife, guys, okay? But here's the thing. They get on this moral high ground. First of all, they act as if there's someone that Trump could pick that they would approve of, right? They're not going to approve of anyone. He could pick a priest that's never had sex, and they wouldn't approve of it if Trump picks them, all right? So that's the other thing. Another, but they act like, well, if he didn't do this, I'd approve. The other thing is this. Since what are Democrats doing judging people based on who they choose to have sex with? I thought we were supposed to
Bill Clinton.
we were supposed to leave people alone when they decide to have certain sexual practices. But in Pete Hegseth, he's got to be a saint. Give me a break.
Well, they're on the sanctimonious high ground, and all of those Democrats supported Bill Clinton. All of them, and with all the women, and we don't even have to guess what he was doing with his joint while in the Oval Office as president, and before and after, and assault, and all the time.
Bill Clinton was. Let me tell you, he not only was he having sex in the Oval Office, he was doing it regularly. Bill Clinton.
I know, and see, they overlook all of that, and then they also supported Hillary, and Hillary did everything she could to discredit and destroy the lives of all the women he assaulted.
That's correct.
And had affairs with, or just, and it's just so sickening to watch them. But Pete took the high ground, and of course, I've got to say this about your caller. You know, there isn't a day that goes by that all of your audience, we long to hear the stupidity that comes out of the mouth of this person. I think his name is Jay.
Mm-hmm.
What an idiot. What an idiot. And, you know, none of this matters. All of what they did yesterday, none of it matters. And I just love the way the Republicans handled it, especially when they called attention to the people who came into the Senate drunk to vote, and how many of them whose wives have left them because they have had affairs up there.
That's
you
right.
know, you can hear a pin drop when that goes on. Nobody wants to talk about that. It's like they are above reproach, and especially somebody like Tim Kaine.
Barbara, I hate to cut you short, but I'm late for the break. But you made some good points.
We're good.
All right, take care.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you for the call. Barbara's calls are always good. She's a very good caller. She was our caller that was sitting behind the president when that Never Trumper shot him in Butler. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Oops. If you're on hold, hang in there. Great calls today. Very good calls today, I must say. I'm just waiting for Mike to tell me when we're coming back. I took that break pretty late. You know, the other thing, the other thing Democrats don't get is forgiveness through Jesus, which, you know, Pete was talking about yesterday. They want to, they act like they're all into this sexual freedom and everything, but they put these scarlet letters on people. I'll be right back, guys. We'll be back in 2 minutes. I went long on all the breaks, so we're behind, and I've got 2 more commercials I got to get in. Yeah, that woman, I mean, I don't know what to make of that. What are your thoughts on that woman with her perversions? I mean, she was pretty perverted. If you're on hold, hang in there. Some great calls today. One minute. Let's see. About 30 seconds to go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We have had spectacular calls today, even the liberals. I'm glad to hear from you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is JJ from Mass. Good morning.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, Brian. I just wanted to talk a little bit about, well, a couple of things. The hearing yesterday is actually the reason, and when you look at it, it's the reason why we voted for Trump. It's sort of a normal versus abnormal thing. And
oh, yeah.
When I look at these, the DEI woke policies of the Democrat Liberal Party, I mean, it's sort of a leprosy on intelligence and common sense and safety. You can see it for your eyes. I mean, you can look at Lake and Riley in Georgia, and you can look just yesterday or a day before in Revere, just north of Boston, an illegal alien who was staying at a hotel, courtesy of the taxpayer, was arrested with an AR-15 and $1 million worth of drugs. You got DEI, educators in Baltimore. The kids can't read grade level. You got The Walking Dead in Philadelphia with drugs. And you look at San Francisco, it's an open Gobi ditch. These are all Democrat and policies. And then we come to L.A. I mean, they might as well start calling L.A. Wokushima because it looks like a friggin' nuclear bomb.
Wokushima, I like that. Wokushima. Did you make
that
up?
The difference between the idiocy of the Democrats.
Did you make that up,
and the
Wokushima,
reality.
or did you hear that somewhere? Wokushima. Did you hear that somewhere or make that up?
I can barely hear you, but I made that up.
I like that. That's great.
Well, I tell you what, I was looking at some footage of the actually the Tokyo bombing, the fire bombing. I think it was in March of '45. They firebombed Tokyo, and I saw that, like, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. And when I saw some pictures of L.A., it reminded me of that. And then you look at you look at the damage after Nagasaki and Hiroshima. You look at all the devastation, and you look at the cement foundations.
Yeah.
It looks just like friggin' Hiroshima. It's Wokushima. It's courtesy of a Democrat governor and a Democrat mayor who don't have the aptitude or the empathy for the people they're supposed to be caring about.
Yeah, but we've got the first LGBTQ plus overweight fire chief and deputy chief. I mean,
Yeah, listen, the alphabet's for spelling, soup, and cereal. If that is in your if that's in your description of who you are, you're in the wrong friggin' profession.
By the way, what's the thing about firefighters in California? They seem to be overweight. I never see overweight firefighters here in Florida. They're in peak physical condition. Why are they so fat in California?
I've never myself. I mean, listen, my brother-in-law was a fireman, worked his way all the way up to captain, chief, and then into the political part of, up into the administrative part of the Boston Fire Department, and he was black. And that was back in the 80s, back when supposedly everything was racist.
Was he fat?
His comment was to everybody, everyone's got to take the test. You know what? A lot of people don't know this, but it takes, you have to have an intellect. You have to be very smart when you get into the captain up into the chief level, because there are a lot, chemistry, you have to really be smart.
Yeah.
You got to be strong. The guys that
you have to either be you have to be smart or LGBTQ plus.
Yeah. That's sort of that's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Those two.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen. Appreciate the call. Take care, man. Oh, great calls today. Oh man, great calls today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. This is Nick out of Baltimore.
Hey, Nick.
A great show, by the way. Following up on Barbara's call, nobody talks about the slush fund that they have.
You mean in Congress, the Congressional Slush Fund in Congress, yeah.
Yeah, and nobody also talks about how they hit that Senate bar. And nobody talks about how many times Bernie Sanders hits that bar.
Well,
and who knows how many,
I learned something.
How many kids?
Did you watch Jesse? Did you watch Jesse Waters last night?
No.
Okay, he brought something up that I don't think anyone knew. I did not know this. Nancy Pelosi brought this into practice in the Congress, both houses, because this is crazy. When Jesse Waters said this, at first I thought he was joking, but it's true. Do you know that when you're in your congressional office, you can order drinks from the bar that they deliver to you? Fully mixed drinks, liquor?
No.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. You have, you can pick up the phone and you can, courtesy of Nancy, and order alcoholic, hardcore liquor drinks, as many as you want, from the bar, and they bring them to your congressional office. I was in shock.
You mean like a pizza?
Yeah.
Instead of pizza delivery, it's alcohol delivery.
Yeah, if you guys missed Jesse Waters last night, if you can go back and watch it, he did some really good coverage on the Pete Hegseth stuff. Don't do it till after 9 a.m. though.
I'll go ahead and I'll pull that up. Listen, great show. I know you got the gold report coming up, so we'll talk again.
All right, take care. See, we have some callers who do commercials, do spots, and we have other callers that know our break schedule and are better at taking breaks on time than I am. Now, I want to tell you guys about Jupiter Joe Thomas. I'm going to be a guest on Jupiter Joe's radio show coming soon, and when that's going to air, I'll let you know in advance so you can tune in. But you want to give Joe Thomas a call. He's offering free phone consultations. You want to take advantage of this. By the way, you can take advantage of the free phone consultation with Joe Thomas no matter where you're located in the United States. Okay? And this free phone consultation is really an amazing and valuable opportunity for you. Joe Thomas is a 5-time qualifying member of the $1 Million Roundtable, which is achieved by less than 1% of all financial advisors in the world. So you're getting a free phone consultation with a top guy. He'll talk to you. He's got some questions he'll ask you, and then he's going to put together a custom proposal just for you. Give him a call. Here's his number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. If you missed the number, just go to his website. It's right there, jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com. All right, we'll take our last break and be back. Hey, it's Brian. I'm going to put you on hold. You'll hear music on hold, but when you hear me, we'll be on the air. Great, hold on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Metals are looking good, coming back nicely after that little buying opportunity we had earlier this week. But today, yesterday, we saw gold close up $15.30 at $2,677.80 the ounce after trading in a range of $2,659 on the low all the way up to $2,680. Silver closed up 29 cents at $29.86 the ounce. Platinum lost $16 at $9.36, and palladium was down $1 at $9.24. Overnight, we saw gold trading in a range of $2,669 all the way up to $2,697 again, all the way up against that $2,700 lid that we've seen on gold that's having a hard time breaking through that number. But I think that's probably going to happen this week. The gold right now is $26.86. That's up $8.20 the ounce. Silver up 19 cents at $30.05. Platinum up $5 at $9.41. And palladium is up $21 at $945. Wow. So again, gold just slightly under the $2,700 price and still a great buying opportunity.
Absolutely. William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. And remember, with William Youngerman, all the metals are available for immediate delivery, which means you walk in, and when you walk out, you have your metals in your hand or pocket or bag. Give him a call. He opens up at 10 a.m., 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010, or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And, of course, you can find both William Youngerman's address and phone number on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, you too. All right, we are back. And let's go back to our very busy phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, mahalo. My name is Alan. I'm calling from Pongo Pongo, American Samoa.
Oh.
I
Wow.
used to live in Fort Myers, Florida, years ago, and I used to listen to you a lot. And so I've been having trouble trying to get a hold of you, but it's surprising I got a hold of you now, and I appreciate it.
Well, that's awesome.
If you didn't mind, I want to express my few cents in regards to these people, these TDF people, that are so concerned about Pete Hegseth's sex life. I mean, come on. We got a pedophile in the White House, you know. Don't they?
Well, I don't know about that, but I know that there's a man that's inside the Oval Office, who Hunter Biden, who has been frequenting prostitutes for years and years and years. And I've never heard them pass any judgment on that sexual behavior. You know, this is the thing, okay? Mm-hmm. No one is approving of what Pete Hegseth has done in his past. However, yesterday he said he's been forgiven by Jesus. He is a Christian. And when you become a Christian, you can be forgiven by Jesus for all these things which he has been done. So this idea that Pete Hegseth somehow is going to get this scarlet letter is insane.
Yeah. Well, we're dealing with a satanic cult administration, as you know, as we all know.
Well, only for 5 more days, and then it's off to the retirement home.
God.
And we don't have to worry about it. How do you feel? You know, America, Samoa, we're going to have another territory added, Greenland.
Yeah.
Greenland.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome. You know, and the thing is, you know, majority I heard wants to join the Union, you know, because Denmark's not doing anything, I was told. You know, American Samoa has been part of the U.S. territory since 1900. And, you know, and I have family. I have 9 grandkids that live in Fort Myers.
Uh-huh.
Well, besides...
and Fort Myers, which, of course, Fort Myers is on the Gulf of America coast of Florida.
Oh, yeah, Gulf of America. Absolutely. True.
Oh, my goodness.
True.
America Samoa.
I know I can keep you talking, but I know you're busy, my
Absolutely.
friend. And I just
All right.
want to say thank you so much for what you're doing, and I support you and everyone else 110%. And the reason why I say 110 because 10 for the big guy.
That's right. All right, take care. I like that guy. We've gotten a few calls recently from America Samoa. Is it America? It's American Samoa, I think, not America. American Samoa, and I don't know. That's like third or fourth call we've gotten in the last couple of weeks from American Samoa, which is I don't know. I guess we're hot in America Samoa. I don't know. That's good. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian.
Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Everybody's Tom from Florida. Everybody's talking about this sex thing, right? Who cares about the sex thing? This guy is basically an alcoholic.
Really?
So do we want the Secretary of Defense to basically be somebody who says he's going to never touch a drink?
Who's an alcoholic?
Or, you could believe in alcoholics. Pete Hegseth obviously is an alcoholic.
What do you mean, obviously? You've seen him drunk?
Oh, yeah.
When?
Hey, Fox and Friends, didn't you see this precise military operative take an axe and throw it over the top of the thing and hit the drummer?
No. In fact, his Fox News co-host, one of them is Will Kane, who's replacing Neil Cavuto starting Tuesday at 4 on Fox. His Fox News co-workers have all said they've never seen him intoxicated at work.
That's pretty interesting.
So you have.
Okay, well, the guy is obviously has a drinking problem.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, so
says who?
Doesn't?
No.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you a quick question. Yesterday, right, with all his things, and he said, was he sympathetic and apologized for his actions, and he's a born-again Christian, right? Did he do that or no?
Yes, that's what he said, yes.
All right. Well, I'm glad that, Christianity is very convenient for people who want to press the reset button as many times as they'd like, because, all they got to do
Wait a
is
minute,
ask
Tom,
God
you're
for
not,
forgiveness,
hold on a second.
what I mean?
You're not a Christian?
Actually, Jesus Christ, I never met the man. I'm not,
What?
I'm an atheist. No, I'm not a Christian.
Well, were you raised a Christian?
I just said I'm an atheist.
What does that mean? What do you believe?
I believe in basically that there's Brian, I don't believe that there's a guy, checking things off at the pearly gates. It's not.
No. I didn't ask what you don't believe.
No.
I didn't ask.
I don't
What do you believe?
Hey, ready? I don't believe in God. Okay.
So
there
what?
You go.
So what happens when you die?
Brian, personally, I don't know. And
Well, what do you
neither
think?
does everybody else, because somebody.
No, I know. I know what happens. What do you think happens when you die?
I don't know, Brian. I don't like this.
So okay, you don't know. Okay, so you don't know. So there is an afterlife then. There could be an afterlife.
As I said, there could and there couldn't be, because we
There
don't.
could or there couldn't be.
No,
No, we do
I will
know.
Give you that.
We do
I will
know.
Give you that.
We do know.
Well, guess what? Then I will tell you this.
I know.
Faith is a gift that I have yet to receive. Okay, and I wouldn't mind if all this horrible
Let me
stuff
ask you,
around
your
the world didn't
your
happen to
parents,
people.
your parents are they how did your parents raise you? As a Christian or not? Another religion?
Don't worry about my parents, Brian. Don't worry about my parents. Okay.
I'm not talking about your parents. How were you raised? Were you raised
All right.
Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, an atheist? How were you raised?
I was raised Christian.
Okay, so when did you reject Jesus? What happened?
Basically, when I started going to school, and you start
going to school.
actually doing a little common sense thinking and practicality. You don't put all your faith and problems in an individual.
Listen,
that
Tom,
doesn't exist.
Tom,
It's
get you.
called
Listen,
taking
Tom.
the blame.
Tom, get the church, okay? No, I'm serious. You need it. You need it. All right, take care. I'm not going to beat him up on that because I think Tom's call is a cry out for help, honestly. I want to tell you guys about the incredible free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. The doorbell camera offer from Sloman's, it will change your life, the doorbell camera. I'm here to tell you. I've been watching some of the footage out of California with the fires. And have you seen some of the fires? It's like you're seeing this video footage right outside the back door or the back sliding glass door or the front door. And what I found out is this is footage that you're getting from doorbell cameras. Right off the door. That's why there's always a door there. A lot of this is doorbell camera footage. That's how good these cameras are. Call Sloman's. Get yourself a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You're going to get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for the doors and windows, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. All right, and you get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call, toll free, 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. All right, let's go back to the phone. Great calls today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
The name is Sandra from Delray. Brian, I listen to you almost every day, and I'm very disappointed at the way you handled Barbara, because Barbara was saying he made mistakes, okay, but you talk about other people, Nikki Haley, about her sexual escapades. Just call a spade a spade. That was very aggravating to hear that.
There's
now,
two.
what happens
No, slow down.
No,
slow down. I'm going to explain, okay? I had to be short because, one, she wouldn't stop talking to let me explain. That's number one, okay? And number two, I was up against a break. But I got a little bit of time now. So you want to hear the difference between Nikki Haley and Pete Hegseth?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This incident in the hotel room in California that we were talking about, Pete Hegseth was not married. The incidents with Nikki Haley, she was married. Number two, Pete Hegseth has admitted his mistakes and asked for the forgiveness of Jesus. Nikki Haley has not admitted her mistakes and has not asked people in the public to forgive her like Pete has. So there's no remorse, no admission of anything. Pete has remorse. He's admitted it, his mistakes, and said he found forgiveness through Jesus. Very different things.
Okay, I agree with you on number two, but number one, she was trying to tell you that he was married at the time that he impregnated his future wife.
That's not what we were talking about, though.
See, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's not what I was talking about.
Well, if I was you, I would say, gee, I never heard of that. I will check it out, but me personally, their sexual escapades don't enter into my life. As long as I do the right thing by the country. But you nailed Nikki Haley for that. Now
I just explained it. No, I just explained the difference.
You did explain number two, but number one you did not. She disagreed with you.
No.
So instead of you saying, "Well, I'll look into it," you right away squashed her.
I didn't have to look into it.
You started attacking her on a personal level, which is really beneath you, Brian.
I was asking her some questions.
Okay. I just wanted to hear my voice.
Okay. Oh, you did?
Okay. Thank you,
Just
Brian.
wanted to hear my voice. She just wanted to hear her voice? All right, we're out of time. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Don't forget, Wings Plus, Monday, the Sample Road location at high noon. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m. Take care, everyone. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. No, that lady that she was talking about, I was very much trying to have a conversation with her, but she wouldn't stop talking. So if she won't stop talking, how can I explain to her the differences between the two? I would have been very, very happy to explain all of the things that I was talking about, but she would not let me. But that's okay. Now, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video. I'm making a couple of adjustments here on my system. All right, guys, listen, I got to run. Thanks for watching. Great show today. The calls today were out of this world good. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. All right, I'll see you next time.